All right, good morning. Market giving it up a little here. Meta maybe going to save the day. I kind of doubt it. So NASDAQ has been what's been driving this market lately. And so now we've got Microsoft with this wild gap up and Meta. Like Amazon is left. And we just apply what we do. So the S&Ps look the most vulnerable to some kind of deeper correction. The uptrend no longer is intact. It violated the low prior to the higher high, major support. It closed underneath it. It's finished. Now, what we covered yesterday in MT Live, retracements. Can it retrace back up again? Can it get back up there and negate this down move? We'll see today, tomorrow. We have so far a weekly bar that is creating a top. And we started talking about that possibility here on this little bar with the tail on the top there about would prices close below it in this area of resistance. It's closing below it today. We'll see where it is on Friday, but we've got a little, I don't know what you would call it, little type of breakout failure. And as far as it being some candlestick name, who cares? Right? It's at resistance, and initially this says it's going down. And we'll see how far down it goes. We look into the daily chart and we see, gap up, 50 MA in alignment with a next level of minor support. We can drag that down there at around 402. So bottom tail here, there'd have to be some intraday pivot probably down here. So I would expect it to hit this 402.5 area. Right now it's a bit higher. You see that on the economic news, it whipped down and it's come back up again. So as we always look, where is it at? And it's gapping up. Oh, not quite to the top, but pretty deep into this red bar on the daily chart, but right into the prior swing high on the hourly time frame. So it's gapping up into a resistance area, and where it's gapping to is relatively insignificant on the weekly chart. You see at the bottom, the crosshairs on the bottom of that red bar. So we see where today ends up, and where it goes from here. After a couple of down days, day before, well, yesterday, I think we spoke about the potential for a narrow range day because it was a wide range day. And we just got a little bit of a range expansion. It wasn't as big as that day. So the downside momentum slowed as it reached this support. All right. So where are we at? Looking here. And just at the top of, well, at yesterday's open. That's about yesterday's open. I just want to look at the futures. No big deal. Broken up trend. Rolled over. We'll see the similar pattern here. And so the recovery for this inside day so far, we'll see how far it can get or the lack thereof. You can see it's coming up into resistance over here. We'll see if sellers take control in that area. And okay, so I'm neutral there. We go to SPX and 0.10. Now looking, Jake had 41.10 and I've got 40.35 where things were moving when I saw it. Let me check the premium at 41.10. Yeah, 41.10 has premium. 41.15, maybe it had a little while ago. So yeah, 41.10 is a 90 by $1. And so it's going to open here. 41, 10, 15. They can get there, man. It's not like they're not, the no-brainers are over for now, but should be coming as we get some more downside. So the downside, I'd love to see this drop this morning because there'd be premium below that. And look, this common sense tells us the further prices move in a short period of time, and when they reach support, there's going to be buyers there, and it's unlikely that it's going to go much lower. So I'd be much more comfortable, with something down here. So this is my average true range over the last 5 days. Jake's telling me, I guess, on the Greek or volatility, whatever, 27 handles. So still expecting some contraction, a little more than there has been, but still not opening up to what it was earlier over here. I'm not all that excited about doing these. It's opening up here. It's based on what SPY is. It's opening up here. To get there, it's at this resistance. So these aren't no-brainers. I don't think so. But those are the levels you want to look at. And if it does rally up from there, of course, the premium here is going to go away. So, like I said, it's just not. I think it's unlikely it gets down below here, and that's where I'd like to be. But there isn't premium there right now, so I think I'm going to probably stay away unless it makes some kind of a move first thing in the morning. Something rapid. Now this is getting up near the top of the wide range bar, but slammed into all this area that it fell from. So I haven't looked at all of the stocks that are moving up, but that one stock, Meta, is not going to save this market all by itself. That's for sure. Just looking at others that might be gapping of significance. Gaps. Wow, I don't know what this PI is or PL. That's getting destroyed this morning. Gapping down a huge amount. Allergen gapping down. Vipro. I don't see any big names. What Wolf is. Wolfspeed. Holy, yeah. I don't know how much that's an influence on the markets, but all right. So the upside here, I think, is limited. This is something I'd much prefer, a zero DTE, and I don't know if they have it on the futures, but on the Qs, if the Qs had premium up here, I think that would be a no-brainer versus SPX, since it's already moved up there. We consider that, but you can see it's coming up into this resistance area. It's got the support here, so it's unlikely this thing's going to make a dive from here. Screen, this Zoom is making my charts crazy. I don't know. Russell broke down, right, all the way through the pivot here, and next level of support is down there. And we talked about this. And this is a big one, Head and Shoulders top. And we'll see if this is going to follow through. See that big Head and Shoulders top, and I showed you a bunch of ETFs earlier in the week that look just like that. And either there's some nasty downside coming, or there's going to be one hell of an abrupt reversal in the other direction. That's just the way it is. But there's so many of them. There's so many of them in so many different sectors. And so to have so many potentially moving in the same direction, and what's happening in these regional banks, and some saying, oh, the worst is over there, maybe, but this broke down. We'll see if that continues to break down. And XLF rolled over. You know, retailers look like they're going to go down. So there's a lot of stuff out there that just doesn't look good. Like something could happen, fall apart. Look at this gap down in the dollar and the reversal back up again. I think if this dollar closes well this week, it starts moving up here. And of course, we're going to keep an eye on interest rates. They're up here on the day at the moment, but I've been talking about this for a few weeks about these, the dollar bottoming out here. And where's my chart here? Where's this on? This is on weekly. This inverse relationship, and whether this can actually, flip back up again, and whether this goes back up. It just hasn't been good for the markets if that happens in the past. So I'm keeping an eye on that. All right. There's still a lot of moving parts, a lot of uncertainty out there, and negatives, positives. That dollar moving up. Because silver is going to keep correcting, and gold will break lower here if that dollar moves up. And some, I guess, positive on the inflation theme. Oil is coming down. Remember that big spike up here, but it's coming into an area where up in here, it's coming down to a point where buyers should step up in this area. So it'll be interesting to see where this turns, if it turns in here, and how much it can move up from there based on this prior power move up on the weekly chart. We're looking for something like this since it's come down. Right? We talked about depth of retracements yesterday. Starting a move from here to here. I guess that's about 50%, give or take. But the way it came down, I would think it would need a little bit of a retest pattern down here to try and advance again. So that'll take some time. And anybody see those transports? That's a nasty collapse. The financials were going down, and they're still arguing about whether there's a recession or not, or there was going to be. They need to look at what we call intermarket analysis versus these economic numbers. This is not a good sign. And it's sitting in here before, and you've got another one of those head and shoulders tops. Right? It just suggests that something is brewing and something's going to let loose. And this has got a void below here. And we'll see what's going to happen. Now that it's on, this came back down as it did. You've got the Dow, everything's starting to give it up. Whether it's at resistance, tech still holding up here, but look at semiconductors, right? Rolling back over. I think a respectful amount of caution here is warranted, and we've talked about this volatility index being down here. It hasn't moved up very much yet, but there's enough things lined up to suspect this market could move lower, and maybe in a violent way, with all these distribution patterns there that have been playing out for almost a month. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. This is the busiest day of earnings of the season. Meta talked about amazing gap, just like Microsoft yesterday. Amazing. It had an expected move of 18, which is a lot, but it's blowing through that number. Microsoft yesterday holding pretty darn well. Amazing. We only did one earnings trade, TDOC. We did what we did, and this is working just absolutely perfect. It's a range bound strategy. We shorted the 31-34 call spread, and then we shorted the 22 puts. So look how wide that is, and it's gapping up just in the middle of this to 27. You couldn't have asked for a better open, right in the middle of this little range. So we'll try to get out at 2-3 cents or whatever at the open. Let's see what other earnings we have here. Meta, I don't know what to do with that, but it's getting pretty darn extended on the monthly there. I'm more inclined to sell a call spread for tomorrow. NOW is a bear 1, 2, 3. That's a call spread idea. CP, no gap, no gap. Echo Whiskey, call spread idea. This gapping down, call spread idea. Clack 372. It's gapping over this ugly red bar. There's it's gapping to the whatever your favorite football team is. That's the defensive line. So it's just gapping to a wall of football players. But because of the gap over this red bar, it's a put spread idea for tomorrow, maybe even a condor. I know, Alex, what the heck was that? Yeah, Roku was a total 100% short setup. If it were not earnings today or last night, whatever, we would have bought puts on this thing. So yeah, now it's gapping lower. Let's keep that on our list, sure. All right, I have eBay on my other computer, so let's put Roku in there. eBay, I posted gapping up here. I can't tell where it's going to open. It's kind of sloshing around here, but it's gapping to yesterday's high. Beautiful bottom, all these converging MAs. I just want to see if it's going to hold the strength. And that's why I posted 30-minute high for a directional, and we'll wait 5 minutes at least to do a put spread. There's always risk on earning stocks that even though they look good in 5 minutes, within the first 30 minutes, they can do an about face. Aflac's a buy setup. Can't tell where it's opening. I'm going to set an alarm at 65.80. This looks good. I do 65.80. So if someone wants to watch that for us, WCN, no pattern, I'm going to delete you. No gap, Algen 322 to support, but ugly gap, could be a call spread candidate and or condor. No gap, just bullish uptrend daily, weekly, monthly, but no great pattern. I'm going to delete you. URI 356 call spread candidate. I don't like the pattern. I'll delete you. Hey, McGraw, no, no caps, please. Caps are just for symbols or for final warnings. RJF, no pattern. Rawlings, no pattern. All right, anything that's zero, I just got to come back to it because it's not trading. 27.58, this 30-minute low, short setup, looks great. Green bar ignored, it's gapping down here. Bearish weekly, that looks great. I'm going to put that in a window. Tango Sierra, this Mobley, I don't even think it was earning, or maybe I don't think so, but that's getting whacked. Well, that's down a lot, but I'm going to watch it and see if it wants to bounce. MAA is a short setup. It's kind of an M top. So I'm going to set an alarm at 147 and change. Oh, you know what? I also set an up alarm. You all see that? I set an up alarm at 150. This is a pattern that we can trade up or down. Up or down is totally fine, whichever way it breaks. Terror. Yeah, and it actually was up pre-market too. Yeah. Yeah, Lillian is having a big old day. Is that mighty? Is that all-time highs? MA, no pattern. I'm going to delete you. Mark also up, but no pattern. ABBV down 156. Big gap. Call spread candidate, possibly Condor. AZN, no pattern. Lynn, no pattern. CMCSA, 38 and change, gap into resistance, no pattern. BMY flat, no pattern. I'm just looking for tier 1 setups here on gappers for directionals and credit spreads. So bullish gap over this red bar. So that Honeywell is a condor idea. There's no gap. Cat. That's ugly. Wow. Yeah, that's obviously the biggest downer on the Dow 30. Mighty Mo. That's a big gap. Call spread candidate, but he typically doesn't have any juice. Hog. 38.20. Sure. Yeah, 30-minute high idea. Sure. Yep, bottoming patterns that when we teach bottoming patterns, we're wanting a something bar, and a breakdown failure with a bottoming pattern with a void is a great one. And Greg, look at marijuana. What's going on with MSOS? We got to watch this thing.
Gap up.
Yeah, but something's under the hood. Got that thing perking. Yeah, we actually have a put spread on Amazon into earnings. So you know what? We might. It's a personal choice, but we'll have a nice open profit on Amazon if you want to take the money before earnings. Oh yeah, Mobley's here, so yeah, it was earnings. Any M would be an ideal bear 1, 2, 3. Failed little buy setup there. XEL is an M top. It's gapping up, but if it takes out yesterday's low, that's a beautiful call spread candidate. STM getting whacked here also. 48 and change. Still looks lower. Kind of looks like it wants to go to the 200 here. Below. That's severely underperforming the sector. ROP is a big mess. KDP, big mess. And I just don't like overlapping bars like that unless you're just doing a condor or credit spread. This thing's gapping up incredibly strong. Look at this 1, 2, 3 right here. That was a beautiful entry. Knock, no pattern. So could be a call spread cat we just talked about. So DTE 110 M top with a new high plus. That's call spread idea. I don't like the overlapping bars. That's a strong uptrend, nothing to do. Tosco 239. Condor above and it's right in the middle of the range. Rockwell, beautiful breakdown if it opens flat. I see one print up here at 283. I don't know if it's, so here's where you got to look at level 1 and see if it's really up there. Rock. Yeah, it's bid 280. All right, so it's not. If this were opening within yesterday's range, then I'd be all over that too. Short yesterday's low. All right, Aflac here, alarm, 5, 10, 15-minute high. Aflac looks great. Our T-Doc is actually moving to the upside now a little bit. Let me see where these quotes are. Mobley still tanking. JCI up alarm. We shorted that yesterday. T-Doc is not open yet, the option market, so nothing we can do. But someone keep an eye on Aflac, please. JCI was shorted yesterday. Yeah, but what are you thinking, Greg? I have no idea what to do with those.
I'm thinking they're making big, ugly gap reversals, and they think the implications of them and what the happening in the transports is another coffin nail in this market. As far as what to do with them right now, I mean, DE's down, coming down near a prior low, and look at it for a put spread that expires tomorrow.
All right, I didn't know what you were thinking. All right, I'm gonna set an alarm on XRT 6050. UAA is a short idea under the week's low. PanW, I posted as a bear put debit spread. That's eBay. eBay, I posted 30-minute high. Also, it's only 22 cents for the put spread that I wanted to do. Darn it. That's a beautiful gap breakout. I just want to wait a few minutes to see if it's going to hold. But it looks fantastic. All right, our T-Doc is open now. It's spready, is why we're not getting out. Because I put an order in for 4 cents. The call, let's see, the call spread is 3 cents. I'm not getting filled. Doc, that looks great. We got a beautiful open profit. It's just a matter of working these little spreads here. We can get out of the 22s right now if you wanted to for 4 cents. So it just totally depends. Yeah, it's 22 for tomorrow. What do you think the odds of it going there? My answer is extremely low. But as I said, earnings can do stupid things. So I'm just gonna kill that at 4 cents. So I was trying to get out at 4. And let's increase it to 6. Just to be done with that. All right, out. All right, good trade. So we're still 100% on earnings trades this quarter. BCS. Yeah, gap breakout. Disney. Yeah, under yesterday's low. Ideally, it would go sideways till after 3. eBay moving. Looks great.